UNHCR's paradox: stay away from us or we are here to help. Dear the UN Refugee Agency and High Commissioner's representative in Greece, Mr. Philippe Leclerc, at the doorsteps of your organization, located in Michalakopoulou 91, Athens, Greece, behind me, I am still looking forward to be allowed to enter the UNHCR's building and thereafter register with the organization at the same address, or to get further information and instructions about as to at which office of the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR and in where should I register. If the organization does not want to carry out its respective responsibilities and properly respond to this humanitarian tragedy, if the UNHCR office in Greece does not want to assist my case, even when I am unprotected, undocumented, and at the risk of deportation as well as at the risk of survival, then please issue an official letter that explains UNHCR's reasons for denying me entry to their building, and also include clear information and instructions about which office of the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR and in where would be the best office to handle my case and my resettlement appeals, and why I cannot remain hostage in Greece and I cannot go to the people smugglers either. I have no wings. I cannot fly. Alternatively, I humbly propose that the organization kindly considers resolving this issue by acting on one of the following propositions below and take immediate action in order to put an end to my long imprisonment in Greece, as well as this endless torment imposed on me for this many years. Those propositions are: first, as due to the Dublin regulations, I will no longer be able to seek protection in other EU countries, and as due to the timing and geographical restrictions, I am also being excluded from benefiting from EU's already failed relocation program. I am requesting entry to the UNHCR building without having to face any further obstacles, fabricated difficulties, or having to appear before the court of Athens again, so that I could register with the organization and for my case to be forwarded for resettlement in another country urgently. Refugees do not need a refugee chief or a refugee organization when it can neither provide them with safe passages nor resettlement opportunities. Second, if not, then help coordinate a meeting between delegates of either the Canadian or the US government to come here to the UNHCR office and negotiate a safe passage with me, thus to be allowed to seek protection in either of these countries there upon arrival with their own acknowledgement and approval. As a recognized refugee and therefore a beneficiary of international protection, a stateless person in exile for over 14 years who has been held hostage in Greece for nearly 5 years and being on protest for over 27 months, I believe I am entitled to a safe and legal way of entry to a country of asylum, such as Canada, USA, or Australia. If not, then as I had been directed to the UNHCR office by the embassies of the countries named above, the United Nations and its refugee agency, UNHCR, may also consider referring me back to those embassies. Explain why UNHCR is not able or does not want to assist my case, and encourage them, if they really want to help, if they are willing to help, then to come up with an alternative solution, such as accepting a resettlement application without a resettlement referral from the UNHCR office, or offering a safe passage to their country and let me find asylum and protection there. Fourth, if not, then you are kindly urged to issue a public appeal addressed either to the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship of Canada or to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and urge them to offer me asylum or to negotiate my rights and let me settle in either of these countries. Fifth, if the United Nations or its refugee agency, UNHCR, is not willing to collaborate on any of the proposed solutions herein, this would only indicate the continuation of their arrogance and their shameful policies, which appears to be more important than the lives of human beings. If that is the case, then please do the killings fast, not like cowards. No slow killings. It really hurts. Furthermore, please be informed that I am addressing my needs for resettlement since my illegal deportation from Sweden back to Greece in September 2015. At the doorsteps of your organization, I am also protesting the illegal treatment of my case in Greece since March 21st, 2017, which means for over 27 months so far, only for a resettlement referral. Nevertheless, I was initially on hunger strike here for up to 64 days as well. Who or what am I in Greece? It is not officially clear. A refugee, a hostage, a prisoner of war, or nobody with no identity at all, who has been systematically deprived of everything and left alone to die. Nobody knows, or at least they pretend not to know. That is what is clear, though, is that I need urgent protection, and of course a country that can offer me that, which certainly is not Greece and will never be Greece for sure. The conditions at the doorsteps of the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, are totally unbearable, torturous, degrading, and very humiliating. I had practically been living like a caveman for as many as 27 months, with having access to nothing, even basic needs such as livelihoods, food, shelter, or even sanitary services such as toilet or bathroom. Inside my shelter, the temperature can rise as high as approximately 40 degrees during the day hours these days, and that is when the summer is yet to arrive. Not to mention, I am currently only eating one meal a day only to survive. Eating one meal a day essentially means skipping 2 meals a day, which also means only 10 days in a month and only 4 months in a year's time. I do not know for how much longer I will be able to endure this horrible situation and in the meantime stay healthy and alive. Targeting a person's dignity and honor and his very existence in order to avoid your own responsibilities and to cover up your own shortcomings is an extremely unproportionate and unjustified punishment which has been forced on me for this many years. This, I believe, no one has ever endured in our era or even ages before that. Considering the obvious fact that I am just seeking asylum in a place of refuge, I cannot comprehend what all these punishments are for. The desperation is real and the risks are too high. Yet the organization UNHCR, even in spite of over 27 months of persisting protest at the doorsteps of their office, not only has not yet even acknowledged my presence here, but also seems to have completely lost perspective and compassion, because not only they had been working hard to criminalize my case and even targeting my personal character and my dignity and honor in many sophisticated and calculated ways, but also have been consistent in extending the situation in a clear hope that I would eventually die and never going to make it, perhaps death by starvation, a cheap and easy solution without having to cost them anything, and all at the expense of the refugee himself. In the other hand, a systematic deprivation and targeted assassination. Will all the human rights agencies, whether based in Greece or internationally, will stand by and do absolutely nothing about this? If yes, at least I need to know why. If no, then where the hell are they to help put an end to this situation? This is a fight for freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. This is a fight for my rights to live. I will not vanish without a fight. I need a way out of this and this endless torment imposed on me for these many years, only for the crime of seeking refuge in this continent. That, of course, if seeking refuge is ever a crime, because I didn't know if it was, at least not before I came here. Getting to the UNHCR's office seems to be the only way out, yet they also blocked my access to the organization because I had to appear before the court of Athens, Zikasteriou Evelpizon, on 18 different occasions so far, and even had to go to jail on 5 different occasions only for having attempted to reach the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR and seeking a durable and sustainable solution for my life. Furthermore, I also feel the need to remind you of the repeated physical assaults on me at the doorsteps of the UNHCR's office while I am still awaiting an official response to the propositions addressed above. I am truly terrorized by the organization, the people inside the building, and the Hellenic police as well. I am extremely tired, exhausted, and almost dying. I fear for my life, my safety, and well-being. Please also be aware that I have also repeatedly asked to be accommodated in one of the UNHCR's apartments buildings while still awaiting a response from either of the Canadian or the US government with respect to my resettlement asylum appeals to their countries. The UNHCR office has also been informed in writing that I need to submit a dossier to the organization. However, and despite the fact that I had been addressing this issue as well, literally for over 1 year, yet still neither I have been able to submit the dossier, nor I had been contacted by anyone from your office even to receive this dossier. Nevertheless, since I even had to appear before the court of Athens and even go to prison only for having attempted to submit the mentioned dossier above, I decided to send it via post mail. The dossier you will soon receive was sent to you on Thursday, June 27, 2019, and it contains all the following documents. 1. The identification documents. I am a Kurdish national originally from Iran, but practically a stateless person in exile for over 14 years, nearly 5 years of which I had been held hostage in Greece. Second, the UNHCR's registration forms from Iraq, Erbil. Even at the time of emergency, UNHCR didn't help me in Iraq. This happened between the years 2012 to the year 2014. Third, the refugee status granted by the Greek Asylum Office in the year 2015 and expired on March 19, 2018. Please bear in mind that I am unprotected ever since. Fourth, the documents of my illegal deportation from Sweden back to Greece in September 2015. Fifth, samples of responses from the Canadian and the US Embassy with respect to my asylum resettlement appeals to their countries. They are requesting a resettlement referral from UNHCR office. Sixth, sample of responses from Canada's Refugee Sponsorship Agreement holders, SAHS. Due to the criteria they apply, I am basically not able to obtain a sponsorship agreement holder from this country. Seventh, the documents that exposes UNHCR's illegal treatment of my case by calling the police on me in the year 2016. 8. Photos of my protest. The continuation of UNHCR's illegal practice had led to announcing a hunger strike and protest at the doorsteps of the organization, which took place on March 21st, 2017 and is still undergoing up to this date. 9th, UNHCR calling the police on me in the year 2017 and samples of police reports on my illegal detention. 10th, UNHCR calling the police on me in the year 2018 and samples of police reports on my illegal detentions. 11. UNHCR calling the police on me in the year 2019 and samples of police reports on my illegal detention. 12. A police report about the destruction of my third shelter. At the doorsteps of the UNHCR, my shelters had been destroyed on numerous occasions. My properties were either stolen or confiscated. There are also some anonymous people who are harassing me on a regular basis. 13th, the court's restraining order with a sample of a police report referring the case to the court. 14th, a letter from Professor Brad Blitz addressed to the court. 15th, the list of my trials. So far, I have had up to 18 trials in the court of Athens, the Casteriou Evelpizon, on the account of attempting to reach the office of the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR and seeking a durable and sustainable solution for my life. 16th, sample of court's decisions on my trials from the years 2017, 2018 and the year 2019. 17th, the documents of my imprisonment in the Amygdaleza pre-removal detention center and from other prisons. Since the announcement of my hunger strike and protest, and as up to now, I had as well practically been imprisoned in 5 different occasions on the accounts of attempting to reach the office of the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR and seeking help for my life. 18th, the documents of my complaint addressed to the Greek Ombudsman concerning the issue of the physical assaults on me by the Hellenic police, as well as the disappearance of my cell phone Samsung Galaxy S6 at the hands of the Hellenic police during my 4th imprisonment. 19th, the documents of my complaint addressed to the Greek Ombudsman concerning the issue of police's continued aggression, confiscating of my cell phone Samsung Galaxy S8 Edge and neglecting the court's order for release of my cell phone. Lastly, what is a resettlement referral that is more important than the lives of human beings? UNHCR has no rights to force anyone to stay in a country, especially in a place where no protection of any kind is available to them. I hope that you realize that ignoring, covering up, and suppressing this humanitarian appeal, what the organization has been practicing on my case for so long, and all that is nothing but a vicious act of murder which has to stop immediately. Put an end to this torment now. Thank you for your time and attention. I will look forward to your reply. Yours respectfully, Anvar Niloufari. Registered case number at the Greek Asylum Office 12826 from the year 2014. Address my shelter located in front of the UNHCR's main office in Athens since March 21st, 2017. Michalakopoulou, 91, Athens, Greece. My Facebook page, Hostess of Europe. Twitter, Anvar Niloufari. YouTube channel, Anvar Niloufari. Today is Thursday, June 27, 2019.